thrilled to be able to call this man a friend. And when a friend has got a new app to try and hook you up and hook coaches up in the youth sports world with an ability to develop practices at the touch of a button in seconds, and that app is called MOJO, and he is available to talk on this show. And I can help support what a friend is up to. I'm all for it. And the former president of Disney ABC Television Group and ABC News, and now the founder and CEO of MOJO, Ben Sherwood, here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you been, Ben?
Hey, Rich. Thanks for having me on.
Look at us talking on TV, streaming, and radio.
How about that?
Look at us talking right now.
As opposed to texting and emailing and hanging.
Actual conversation. Let's get into this because obviously, youth sports is roaring back to life, like as I'm knocking on wood right now on my head, like the rest of the sports world and society. What is MOJO all about, and what people can go to this app and have supported in their youth sports world, Ben?
Well, youth sports is roaring back. In fact, this morning we were talking with some of the folks who handle registrations across the country for some of the biggest sports leagues, and they say that they've never seen numbers like this. They're back and they're above pre-pandemic levels as kids are rushing back outside to play sports. And we started MOJO 99 days ago, launched exactly 99 days ago, to help moms and dads who are volunteering to help coach their kids have a better experience, save time preparing for practice, save stress because it's a stressful experience if you've coached, as you know, 4 to 14-year-olds, and have a better experience on the field. And so far, thousands of teams are using MOJO for soccer across the country, and the data is coming in. We're starting to see and hear from the coaches, and about more than 80% of the moms and dads using the MOJO app to plan their soccer practices, that's our first sport, soccer, are saying that they've saved time, it's less stressful, and the kids are having more fun. And we're going to be rolling out flag football in the fall, and I thought that'd be up your alley. And
yes,
then
sir.
We're going to have basketball in the winter, and then by next spring we'll have Little League and softball. And then we'll roll in volleyball after that. So soon, any sport you're coaching your kids in between the ages of 4 and 14, MOJO will plan your practice at the touch of a button. It'll give you most trusted resources on what activities to do, what's age appropriate for 4-year-olds or for 10-year-olds or for 12-year-olds, boys and girls, and we will set you up so that you can just have fun and not worry about when you get out of work and are rushing to the field, oh, shoot, what am I going to do with these kids today?
So are you consulting actual coaches in these sports to come up with what the best practices are?
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going about this, Ben?
Rich, you know me pretty well, and you know that I love telling stories. I love making content. I've done that for 30 years, but you know that I have a lot of humility about sports. So we are working with the world's top experts in each of our sports. Our partner in soccer is U.S. Youth Soccer, the biggest soccer league in the United States with 3 million kids and about 300,000 coaches. And we've been working with the top experts to develop our activities that are proven for every age group. We're working now with FC Barcelona for a special offering that we'll be putting out at the end of the summer from their renowned La Masia Academy, where Lionel Messi trained and learned to dribble and pass and shoot, and we'll be working with them on special curriculum. So we work with the very best in every sport to develop the very best activities for kids from 4 to 14. This is for the 99% of families, Rich, whose kids are probably not going to play D1. They're probably not going to go pro. They're not going to the Olympics. This is for really kind of the grassroots, the rec, all the families out there that just want to go outside and have a great time with their kids and make memories for a lifetime. That's what MOJO is for. That's why we called it MOJO. We want to bring the magic back to youth sports because, as you know, it's gotten very professionalized. It's gotten very competitive. It's gotten very elite. This is really to help moms and dads everywhere have a great experience. And I'm proud to say that just yesterday, MOJO received the Webby Award for the best sports app of 2021. 98 days after we launched, recognition as the best of the internet. And in fact, the president of the Webbies said about MOJO, we caught them by surprise. about that we represent in terms of creativity and innovation, the best of the internet. And so we're really proud of that. It's a sort of validation for what we're trying to do, which is give families great, trusted resources to have a great time in sports.
Well, Ben Sherwood, you also know from your TV days that you got to drop some names. So Russell Wilson, how'd you get him involved in this? Is he going to be your flag football guy, and is he going to suddenly demand more protection for the quarterbacks in your coaching schemes and things like that? Is that the way this is going to go, Ben? How does this work?
So Russell, believe it or not,
yes,
is an assistant Little League coach in San Diego. And we were introduced, and he heard about what we're trying to do, which is we're trying to make the experience better for moms and dads who are coaching. And remember, you know better than anyone, Russ was drafted into Major League Baseball. He knows that game really well, too.
Yes.
And he has suffered on the sidelines coaching his son. And he feels like there is a need in the world for a trusted resource to help moms and dads get through a season of Little League without doing any harm and making sure that everybody has a good time. And so he joined us not just as an investor, but he came on board as a board member and an advisor, and he's encouraged us as the chairman of NFL Flag. He's encouraged us to do flag football.
Okay.
And so, yes, he will be giving us help, but I think he will have a special interest in quarterback protection.
I'm just well, Ben, hold on a second. He's an assistant coach. He's not running the team. He's just like the guy who's just support staff. Is he like running the post game snacks? Like Russell's bringing the snacks. You know,
not only is he the assistant,
yes,
but believe it or not, the head coach wouldn't even give him a hat, so he had to go get the hat separately because they didn't have enough hats for the coaches. Which, by the way,
that happens.
Every parent in youth sports knows that usually the assistant doesn't get anything.
Yeah,
and so he had to go out and get his own hat so that he kind of fitted on the sidelines coaching at third base.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is amazing, Ben. So this is where all apps are acquired, right? App Store, just go and look for MOJO, MOJO, and because, you know, so many parents, you know, I have, as we've discussed this, I have, you know, coached a team. Susie's coached a team. My wife's coached a team. And, you know, we want to make sure that everyone's having fun. That was always my rule. My rule was have fun and respect the opponent. Those are my two rules. But you also want to make sure that you're teaching the kids what they need to know fundamentally, that there is some form of coaching that does need to be required. And I was wondering if I was doing the right thing. So this app can actually support somebody who's in a position like that, is what you're saying.
The whole idea is to take any mom or dad with any level of experience. Maybe you played in high school, maybe you even played in college, or maybe you've never played the sport. You just love watching it. You want your kids to get exposed to it.
Right.
They can walk out onto a field tonight. They can watch a few high-quality videos that we made in partnership with Mandalay Sports, the guys who made The Last Dance about Michael Jordan. There's high-quality short videos that you watch that kind of explain the drill or the activity, that tell you what to look for. There's a whole bunch of great articles there, too, that are basically guide you on how to coach the child first and then the sport. So that's the whole philosophy, which is that at this stage and at the different age groups, you're really trying to help a kid reach their potential. You're not really trying to turn them into a pro ball player yet. And then it just sort of basically takes you through an entire season, and then it learns from you about how that practice went. It plans your next practice with your next activities. You get to tell it whether or not you liked those activities, whether the kids like the activities, and then we learn from you about what you need. And then you can even sort of choose your own journey. Hey, you know what? We didn't score any goals in the last game. We need to work on our offense. We've got practices that are just about offense for every age group. Or, hey, if they scored 40 goals against you and you really need some help, you've got everything you need on defense. And I think ultimately, like you and Susie coached, I know that on your desk you have a best dad ever nameplate, and I know that we all want to be better parents. Yes. I think ultimately what we're really trying to do is we're trying to help moms and dads everywhere have a better experience out there, have more fun, and create less friction with your kids, create less tension with your kids, and basically make it easier for you to do this and make it easier for and more fun for your kids so that you're inclined to do it again next season. And then, hey, maybe if you had so much success in soccer you think, I'll do basketball this winter. And this app made it so much easier for me. It took all the planning and all the work right out of it. I can do that. And, hey, you know what? Little League's coming in the spring. I might even try that, even though I've never done anything in baseball before. We take all that work right out of it for you, and it's just sort of you just get to have fun on the field. That's the whole vision for what we're doing.
So last one for you, Ben Sherwood, founder, CEO of MOJO, this phenomenal app that helps people coach up kids and figure out what sort of coach plan can be used to develop a practice for you and the youths that you are coaching. Is there a portion of MOJO to deal with the a-hole parents that think that you're preventing their children from getting that D1 scholarship and a major league career, and thus essentially their retirement fund? Is there part of the app for that, Ben?
So yes, there is an article that is actually one of the most popular articles in the app, and it is one of the most popular articles from MOJO on the web. It is called "Sorry, Your Kid's Not Going Pro," and that article lays out in exacting detail how young Serena or young Ronaldo is not going to end up at D1, and that the statistics, the probabilities of this kid, by the way, who's 5 and is running the bases backward, whose name is Mays, that kid running the bases backward is not going to end up playing for the San Francisco Giants, and everybody needs to relax. There's actually a syndrome, which is distortion by proxy, which psychologists talk about, which is the distortion that a lot of these parents experience out there, which is that they're living their lives through their kids. They're planning their retirement. In fact, there are studies from TD Ameritrade that say that a crazy number of American families are spending more on youth sports than they are on their own retirement because they believe that their kids are going to get scholarships and pro contracts. And we try gently to remind people that unless you are in the 0.01% in any of these sports, that's not going to happen. And it's just a lot more important for you to have fun out there with the kids, enjoy the experience. And if you really want to have an ongoing relationship, a lasting relationship with your kid, do not put the pressure on them that they're supposed to go pro, and just say to them the magic words, "I loved watching you play," when you ride home, because the ride home is more important than anything. The ride to the game is really important, and knowing how to handle the ride home or the ride to the game is part of what MOJO is about.
Yes.
Make sure that at the end of that journey, at the end of that youth sports journey, you're still talking to each other, because there's a whole lot more life after youth sports. Youth sports teaches all these incredible lessons. In fact, as you know, sports is such an amazing teacher, but there's a huge amount of life after they're done playing youth sports. And as a parent, you want to have a really good relationship with them. That's also where MOJO comes in. We're going to try to help make that relationship even better and not all messed up, because you were coaching them poorly, you were putting all kinds of pressure on them, and you were critiquing their batting stance in the drive home. The only words that really work on the drive home are, "I loved watching you play, and I can't wait to watch you play again."
I love that message, Ben. There's no question I love that message. You know I love that message. But you also know that some of these parents don't need gentle reminders. And also, you, Ben Sherwood, come from the world of visual medium and video. Will you let me take that article and make a video version of it and let me be the guy that delivers this message for MOJO?
Rich,
Can I do that for you?
We're sending the crew to you right now.
Please.
It's on its way.
Articles are like people, articles, whatever. It's great. We're reading it, maybe, a couple paragraphs in. No. Sometimes you got to walk through the front door and tell them what's what. And I would love to be that guy. Please.
Camera's on. We're sending the camera now. Thanks, Rich.
Take care of yourself, Ben. Congrats on MOJO.
Thanks a lot.
You got it. That's Ben Sherwood. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.